if you're building a business and you feel like you're stuck or you're creating this space where you're always looking for external validation, let me share with you 3 things that 100% would have helped me move forward faster if I would have known them at the beginning or when I hit that wall. So maybe you're not at the beginning, but maybe you are hitting this wall and you're feeling stuck and you're feeling in this cycle, right? There are 3 things that were total game changers for me as I learned them along my path. I didn't learn them all in one time. It took me time after time after time to be able to get these. So let's just condense them and make your time a little bit easier. So number 1 is all about external validation. So external validation will slow you down every single time. When we are always waiting for someone else to tell us that we're doing a good job, or another thing that we're doing is we are oftentimes waiting for other people to tell us that we're doing a bad job. And we don't even recognize it. We don't recognize that that is what we're looking for. We're just waiting for people to confirm what we already think about ourselves. And that's that we're not doing a very good job. So we're constantly waiting for that. So any type of external validation, either it's validating that we're good or it's validating that we're bad, if we're constantly waiting for it, then we are wasting our time, we're wasting our energy, we're wasting our focus, and we're not focusing on the things that will absolutely move us forward in our business. So this is when we have to get to this space where we are actually not waiting for someone else to tell us good job. So every testimonial that you come in, for me, I'm a coach, so I get testimonials all the time. And lots of feedback. Oh my gosh, you changed my life. Or, oh my gosh, this is going really well. Or, oh my gosh, this was a waste of my money. Whatever it was, right? There was something that would come back. And so at the very beginning, I really thrived off of those testimonials. I really meant something really, really, really deep to me. Oh, I am doing a good job. So with that being said, if you're always waiting for somebody else to tell you that you're doing a good job, what happens when you get that one that says, this was a waste of my money? I can't believe that I even spent any time on this. What happens when that comes along? Well, you feel incredibly defeated. You feel like you're not good enough, right? Oh, you've now validated your experience that you are not good enough or capable or supposed to be doing this job. And so when we're waiting and we're creating our lives based off of any type of external validation or that feedback right there, that becomes our thought process. That becomes the thoughts that we operate out of. You see where we're going with this? You become stuck because you're only leaning off of somebody else's good jobs. You're only leading out of somebody else's beliefs for you, right? Whether they believe you're good or they believe you're bad. And so when we get to this space, we have to say, no, those can just be reflections for me to reflect inward and say, yeah, I did do a good job. Or yeah, that was not my best. Why wasn't my best? Why did that person feel like they didn't get my best? Why did they feel like it was a waste of time and money? Now with that, we're not responsible for other people's outcomes. So we can only say, did I show up to my fullest? Yes. Right? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? Did I hold up my end of my bargain and our agreement? Yes. Now that other person may be going through some stuff where they're just projecting onto you to make you the bad guy so they feel better. All right. So that's not what this is about. But the point is that you're going to find people who are going to make you the bad guy or the best guy. And so when we are always looking for that and we don't find, oh, that was my room for improvement, right? Or, oh, I did really good, and that doesn't come from in here, we lose our momentum. We lose track of our progress. It does not become our lives. We're living someone else's life, right? We're making our choices based off of what we think other people are going to like or what they're going to give back to us. Like we're not living our life from our truth, from our space of this is what I want to create. We're doing it so somebody tells us good job, or we're doing it so somebody doesn't tell us bad job, right? So you have to be willing to step into the bad jobs, right? And you have to be willing to just act or not allow those, oh, you're amazing at what you do to become your identity as well. Because you have to say, I'm amazing at what I do, right? So nobody has to tell me that. Because there will be a lot of times in your business where people aren't shouting from the rooftops how amazing you are, right? They just won't be. And it doesn't mean that you're not amazing, and it doesn't mean you're not doing a good job. It just means people won't be shouting it from the rooftops for whatever reason. So if you're waiting for that, then it's creating validation that you're not good enough because you're not hearing it. So you have to follow your own voice. You have to follow your own validation. So that's number 1. That's the number 1 thing I wish I would have started doing at the very beginning of my business, is not waiting for somebody else to tell me good job and not looking for all of the reasons why I wasn't doing a good job as well. And number 2, so your business isn't just meant for you. So this is an ongoing thing that I still have to remind myself now, right? Because the business is that tricky space where we're in it to make money. Like that is true. We just have to be honest with ourselves about that. Like if you're not being honest with yourself about that, then you need to do some deep reflective work, because this business, the business that you're in, needs to be giving you some revenue. It needs to be giving you some earth points, is a joke that we use about it. Like that is part of this game. So the business does bring us joy. It does bring us a feeling of accomplishment. It does bring us, this space of security and safety when we're getting paid for it. Okay. So when we are looking at this business as it's just for us, it becomes very self-centered and very self-serving. And people feel that. People recognize that, and they don't want to work with you, because it's all about how you can look better, how you can do better, or how much money you can make. And that will be picked up. All right. So number 2 very much is about how this isn't just about you. It's about those you serve. Now, this doesn't matter what type of business you're in either. You don't have to be in a transformational coaching world like I am to change lives. We can change lives no matter where we're at and no matter what business we're in, right? It's the trickle effect of us doing deep work, of us being present for our clients and our customers, for us giving them something that they're looking for, and doing so in a way that makes them feel good, makes them feel better, helps them get over a belief about themselves that they had. Like we're changing the world one person at a time. And I love the quote that says, if you want to change the world, start with yourself. And that's what we start with. Right. But when we always come out like making an offer so we can make money, or how much income can we hit based off of this offer, we lose the human side of that people connect to. Right. So when you focus on how you can help other people and you show up as that version, the version that helps others, and no matter what you're doing, like I said, it doesn't matter what type of business you have, no matter what that is, when you show up in that and you feel that and you set into that, then you become more passionate. And anytime I have felt in my business, it's because I started to focus on the money. It's because I started to focus too much on me. And it's not even always the money. Sometimes it's just my time. Oh, I don't want to do this. It feels like such a waste of time. I don't want to go record these videos. I don't want to do this. I don't want to post. I don't want to do that. It's very self-centered, right? That's really about me. Now, something's out of alignment there. Something's telling me to look inward and say, what is this? Because I lost sight of the people. Because when I show up and I put my stuff out there, I inspire other people to step into their best versions of themselves. And I'm not being the best version of myself if I'm not willing to do that. And so that's just a reflection. That's just a mirror. That's just to say, this isn't just about you. Now, with that being said, you don't need to run yourself ragged into the ground to serve other people. We have to find that balance of that give and that take. I'm showing up for others and it's feeding back into me too. So oftentimes those times where I'm like, I don't want to do this. Well, that's because there's some evaluation that needs to be done. So do that evaluation. What's feeling pulled or tugged? Am I getting into this next space where I'm busting through a ceiling I set for myself? Like, what is it? Is there a belief that's here? Depending on where you're at in this journey, there's likely a belief that's coming up for you that is really pulling you back. That's saying you're not good enough for this, or you're not capable, or this next, don't let people see you. Don't be vulnerable. Right. But that's where you have to do that work so you can show up for others. So it's not just about you. It's not just about you protecting that vulnerability within you. It's about you stepping into the vulnerability to allow yourself to be that space, that change, that shift in the world, right? To create that ripple effect from you out, right? To do that work, recognize that what you do, no matter what space you're in, is creating an impact, right? It is changing the world. So change yourself, change your relationship with that, and also look at how it's impacting other people. So big part, really wish I would have started focusing on that more. And one reason why I wasn't is because I was trying to prove that I was good enough. So it's those subtle things, right? So again, it's not always about money. It's that subtle thing of me just trying to prove that I was capable. So I was always focusing on myself. When something didn't go well, I would contract and restrict instead of just staying open and expansive and saying, well, that didn't work out. Let me try something different. But because I was trying to prove that I was good enough and smart enough and capable enough, any hit or ding to that made me feel contracted and restricted. Right? So that's what we're shifting into here, right? That's something that's so important to recognize. That what is it that makes you contract? And when are you going so much to this self-serving space that you're not showing up for other people? That's number 2. Now going into number 3. Number 3 is very much based off, or very much goes off of number 2, because we're talking about how your energy is key. And so in number 2, we talked about how we're serving other people. And if you're only doing it for yourself and it's only super selfish, guess what? People are going to pick up on that. Well, that's your energy, right? So number 3 is all about your energy being key. So you're going to attract what it is, what the energy you're putting out. So you're going to attract what you're putting out when it comes to energy. And I learned this one the hard way. Energy does not lie, right? So if you don't trust yourself, guess what? People aren't going to trust you either. They just won't. People aren't going to trust you in your content. People aren't going to trust you in your messaging. You're going to send an email to them and they're going to be like, yeah, that sounds really whatever, because you weren't trusting yourself. Energy does not lie. If you don't believe in yourself, people aren't going to believe in you. If you don't believe in yourself, then people aren't going to believe in themselves, right? They're not going to believe in their ability to get to that next level. They're not going to believe in their ability to do whatever it is that you're asking them to do. Like, because you don't believe in yourself and they pick that up. It's an energy. It's not a said thing. You can be like, I'm the absolute best. But if you don't feel that, they're going to feel that. And they're going to keep scrolling, or they're going to go to the next offer, or they're going to move on. As they should, if we're being really honest, because you have to do that work. You have to believe in yourself. Don't ask anyone else to believe in you when you're not doing it for yourself, right? We don't need the external validation, going full circle back to number 1. You need to validate yourself. You can't wait for somebody else to do it. All right. So our energy is what we attract. How we operate in our world is what we attract. So if we aren't doing the things that we are asking other people to do, then they're not going to be motivated to do them. If they can't see them in their life, then they're not going to do it. Your energy doesn't lie. So there was a lot of times in my own practice where I wasn't doing the things that I was asking clients to do because I was still operating out of fear. I was still operating out of a self-sabotaging mindset. And I was still operating out of a space where I felt like an imposter. And I was being an imposter, right? For being really honest about it. I was an imposter because I wasn't embodying what I knew to be true about myself. I was doubting it. I didn't think I was capable. So if I told somebody I was capable, yeah, I was being an imposter because in my mind, I was doubting myself. Right, so we step into this full level of acceptance about who we are and what we're doing and where we're going. And we say, my energy is the key here. And I don't want to keep putting myself out in this false way. I don't want to keep pretending that I'm doing something that I'm not. I want to just be me in this stage of my life. And I want to attract people who are doing that as well. So really look at your energy, really look at where you're asking people to do things, but you're not willing to do them yourself. Really ask at how you're doubting yourself, your message, your offer. And then before you put that out there, do the work on how you can believe in it more, right? It's as simple as that, right? It's as simple as doing that work, understanding what that looks like for you and moving through it. Right? And that energy is going to change. And then you're going to start to attract those people who are meant for you. Then you're going to hear people who are like, yes, right? I have clients that are so on board with me and what I do and the work that they are on the Kayla train. They wouldn't have been on that train if I wasn't on it myself, if I wasn't driving it. That is what's key here. And so really believe in yourself, really check your energy, really start to see what you're putting out. If you think people aren't going to accept you, then I guarantee they're not. They're going to feel that rejection that you have for yourself, and then they're going to reject you. So to start to play around with your energy, and I'll probably do some more videos on this energy aspect as well, because I think it can get a little confusing. And we move a lot into maybe going into affirmations, and that feels false and not true, or we don't want to go into that. That's not what we want to do either. Right? You want to step into moving through the phases of ourselves, the spaces of ourselves that doesn't believe in who we are, so we can really fully embody who we're meant to be without that block, right? So those are the 3 things that I find to have been key, that if I could have known that at the very, very beginning of my journey, I would have gotten to where I'm at a lot faster. So I hope you do something with them. Right. As always, I invite you to subscribe, follow. I'll put stuff out multiple times a week. Also have a space, a community that you can join if you're looking for being around a lot more like-minded people who are doing the work that you're doing and also working on growing their business. That's what's special about this space in this room. So I'll drop all the information, of course, below. And as always, thank you so much for being here.